Today, we're making corned beef hash. So if you like corned beef and you like a good potato hash, stay tuned because this recipe is up next. Here I've got several small russet potatoes I'm just cleaning with a brush and a little bit of lukewarm water. I like to keep the peels on for their nutrients, so we're not going to be peeling these potatoes. But we are going to cut them up into sections here. Lay each section down flat so we can cut them into strips. Once this is done, then we'll turn them sideways and we'll cut them into cubes. About 1/2 inch is going to be good for each piece. And once you've got all the potatoes diced up, you want to go ahead and dice one small onion. Now we're going to add some olive oil to a large skillet over medium-high heat. Get that mixed across the bottom evenly. Go ahead and add the diced onion to the skillet. Spread the onion across the bottom of the skillet even as well, and hit it with some kosher salt and pepper. Give it a good toss. And you want to saute and caramelize for 5 to 10 minutes or until it looks something like this. Now just add the onions to a plate. And with our skillet back on the stove, we're going to go ahead and add our diced potatoes. Then immediately top them off with some warm water. These potatoes are still raw, so we're going to turn the heat up to high, bring the water up to a boil, and cook these potatoes for 5 minutes. Now if you don't want to cook a plain corned beef hash, you might want to consider adding some other ingredients like these Roma tomatoes I'm cutting up now. Chopped bell pepper and corn is another nice addition. Even cheese. Now if you've got any water left in your pan after cooking for 5 minutes, you want to strain it out. Now drop your heat down from high to 7. You're going to add some olive oil to your pan. Then add the strained potatoes right to it. Now for good flavor and a good sear, I'm going to add several cubes of butter. I'm going to hit it with kosher salt and pepper as well. You want to add the onion back to it now. And once you stir and mix this in real well, you want to let this sear for a solid 5 minutes before you touch it again. Now here I've got a can of corned beef. I'm not in any way, shape, or form affiliated with this particular brand. I just like that it's shredded inside this can, so it's easy to cook down. As you can see here, I'll smash into it and it spreads apart real nice and easy. The other way is more like a can of Spam, where you'd have to chop it up into cubes, and that's fine if that's what you prefer. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to use this. We're just going to spread it out and let it sear. Now after 5 minutes of cooking the potatoes, you can see we're getting some nice golden color and a nice sear. So now I'm going to add a small handful of dried parsley and some dried oregano. And this is Mexican oregano, by the way. Why? I like it better. And that's all that matters. So once you get that stirred in all the way, you want to go ahead and leave it sitting for another 5 minutes without disturbing the sear. Now we'll flip our hash for the first time here. You can see a nice little golden crust across the bottom. I'm going to break that up. And if you don't understand why I'm cooking the corned beef and the potatoes separate, it's about the moisture content. It starts to get too mushy and it never really sears very well. But once you've achieved a good sear on both of them separately, you can combine the two together. Just carefully work the corned beef down through the potatoes, and if you're brave enough, give it a good toss. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you choose to add tomatoes, add them at the end of your cook. That way they stay crisp and vibrant. This is also a good time to add cheese if you want it to melt down in there while it's still hot. And there you have it, corned beef hash right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen. Thank you for watching, and be sure to stop by PoorMansGourmetKitchen.com for more recipes and exact ingredients.